Okay, Ron Sylvester with the Ohio Farmers here with Joe Logan, who is a past president of the Ohio Farmers Union and works with the Ohio Environmental Council, and is here in Windsor, Ohio, and Ashtabula County tonight to discuss fracking and give one of his excellent presentations. Joe, tell us what's been going on with the OEC and the state regarding this whole fracking question.
Well, hi, Ron. Our concerns both with the Farmers Union and with the Ohio Environmental Council are trying to balance a couple of things that are going on associated with this new drilling and shale exploration scenario. And that is, first of all, if there is a resource there which many commercial entities are bent upon extracting, that's going to happen. We are told that, at least by the governor, we are told that by the preponderance of the legislators, we are told that by the agency officials on the state level. And in fact, we hear that from people all over the countryside. And we don't want to be in denial on this. We kind of understand that there is a compelling economic interest for both landowners and for the folks in the business of exploring for and extracting these compounds to go after this incredibly valuable economic resource and extract it. So we want to try to manage that to the extent possible. And at the same time, we want to do, our job one is regarded to be keeping safe those natural resources that have actually farmers have relied upon and rural communities have relied upon. In fact, communities, whether they be rural or urban, are absolutely reliant upon clean water, clean air to keep their communities healthy. And especially if you're involved in agriculture, and part of my presentation tonight will go into the agricultural aspects of it. But it's absolutely essential we keep our land, air, and water in a clean, healthy condition.
What are some things for farmers and rural landowners that you're going to talk about tonight that they need to be especially cognizant of, given the fact that we're in a situation right now where not a lot of wells being drilled, but there are a lot of people out there knocking on people's front doors to take a look at leases and that kind of thing?
Yeah, there are a couple of different approaches to this. There are a lot of people that would say, because I don't approve of the whole idea of trying to extract fossil fuels in a time when we should be moving toward renewables, they would their reaction or instinct is to go against the scenario and to not lease their land and to hope that the process will stay clear of it. Because House Bill 165 was passed a few years ago, they have the ability to be pooled into a drilling site and a drilling system, whether they like it to or not. So we are urging those folks to consider very strongly using the lease process to build in protections for their water, for their air, for their family, and for their soils. We think that there is some opportunities here to use that lease process wisely and use it aggressively to protect their resources.
All right, Joe. And your own family's farm operation is, I believe, in the Trumbull County area. What are you seeing in your own part of the state?
Well, not a great deal of drilling activity yet, but a relative frenzy of leasing activity, including some quasi-legal or worrisome techniques by the oil and gas folks that often presume a great deal upon families and push people to the limit in terms of what they can expect both legally and in a diplomatic way. So it's been very difficult for families even before the drilling has started. And we would hope that this will not get tremendously adversarial, but we want to do everything we can to protect our resource. That's our job one.
Well, let's end with this then. You and I were both just with Representative Dave Hall, chairman of the House Agriculture Committee in Columbus, and he left us with a couple of things. Make sure that if you're a rural landowner, you get a lawyer, and you don't have to sign the first piece of paper that comes across your kitchen table. Is that something that you agree with? And
Absolutely, absolutely. We have to understand that the oil and gas companies, even though they're coming with apparently with checkbooks open, they do not have our best interests at heart, and they do not have a compulsion to guard our natural resources. That is our job, and perhaps the point of highest leverage is the point before you signed a lease. Once you've signed a lease, all that leverage is now behind you. So consult an attorney, get a good attorney that's experienced in the oil and gas field, and negotiate hard before anything is signed.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Ron.